you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you all.
Bye-bye,
Bye bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And we will welcome the speakers of the last roundtable of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are waiting for a last speaker who will join us maybe with a little delay. And I will start by Petrika. Hello, Petrika from
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Busy day. I had like a 6 hour meeting today, and I'm super exhausted. But glad to be here, and you are raising up the energy with this space. I've been hearing the last three panels, and the energy went up. Or then the moment I came back home. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we are also with Max from eCompass. Hello, Max. Oh, Max, we can't hear you. Okay, just check the mic, and I will give you the mic just after. And I have my dear friend, Philippe. Hello, Philippe from Globies and CryptoBay. What's up?
Yeah, how are you, Jerome? Nice to be there. I mean, like it's a long time I've not been on a live with you and with the holidays and all these things. But
Missed you.
I think we're back. So yeah, well done for today. Good discussion, good people, a lot of point of view. So that's nice. And let's continue forward right now with the last session.
Thank you. And we are with Stefana, which is in the same place than me.
Right, I'm dreaming of summer, to be honest. After 2 days of just raining and cloudy
Here.
outside.
But today you are representing Pulse Harmony and Astra Reason.
Yeah, right. That's true. I'm super excited as always. JRM, thanks for having us. So really looking forward to the last session.
Thank you very much for coming. So during this roundtable, we will speak about ecosystem. We spoke about NFT, AWA, DeFi, entertainment. So let's speak about the ecosystem. What makes MultiversX different and attractive? But first, let's just check if it's okay with Max from eCompass. Max, are you there? Can you speak? No. Okay. Oh, I can hear some noise, but
it's alive at least.
Okay. I hope he can join soon. Anyway, so the main topic will be, what does the ecosystem need to take off? And first question I will ask you is, MultiversX can only be adopted by a reliable and complete ecosystem. So what do you consider to be the essential building blocks of this ecosystem? Who wants to start? Yeah, Philip, but you have the private chat to write up, so it's easier for me to see who wants to speak first. But I think Philip raised his hand first. So let's go, Philip.
Okay, so I will not go over all the details about NFTs, technology. I think a lot of people talked about that already. I will bring...
to be, just sorry, but I really wanted you to come today as notably staking provider, because it's important to represent the staking provider during this conference, and that's why I really wanted to have you on this roundtable. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's the point that we try to bring. I mean, not really a personal project or anything, but really the point of view of stacking provider and what the ecosystem need for all roles. I mean, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stacking provider at the end, either existing project or people in the shade, if I can say. But I think they are an important role, and even more with the subject of the ecosystem that I'm coming right now regarding the sovereign chain. So, in fact, the sovereign chain right now, it's designed as a dedicated blockchain with specific rules and capacity to settle some in the main net. But at the end, it could be also a private network just for a specific project with using the same technology and some interoperability with the main network, but allowing, in fact, to run transaction on it. And then you need stacking providers to create nodes and to run them for the project to run. And so I mean, today the stacking provider don't have a big role in the ecosystem. I mean, it's something that people stack e-gold to validate and get rewards, but there is not really synergy, except some funding and some dual role, if I could say, running a project or running a founding company. But at the end, there is not really a technical synergy between both. And I think with the rise of sovereign chain, and currently the phase 4 that came, then the finality at 0.6, and coming the possibility to transfer funds from one stacking provider to another, I think this role will change. And on the ecosystem, that will be a big mark, I think, and that could be something that will be discussed in the coming months, I guess, with the rise of sovereign chain and the needs, in fact, of people to validate on them. Maybe I can wait for another question and come back on that later. But I think it's an aspect that have not been discussed today. And regarding the ecosystem, it will be something that will really shape the way that we imagine projects by doubling that with a stacking provider and a way to delegate e-gold to validate, secure the network on which the project is running.
Thank you very much, Philippe. Yeah, you're right. It was not mentioned before. So that's why I really wanted you to be there today. We have Stefana and Petrika who are working for 2 launchpads. And we know how is it important to attract project so they can write fund and so they can build on the MultiversX ecosystem. So I think it's an essential block of an ecosystem to have a powerful launchpad. So maybe one of you wants to speak about this piece or, of course, anything else. Petrika, you raised the hand just after.
Yeah, right. I was going to push a bit the idea on the question you started with. So I would say that it's pretty clear why anybody would come on MultiversX. The tech is here, in spite of the fact that the MultiversX team pushes publicly the technology behind the infrastructure. I think everybody's pretty aware that the technology is good. If I have to mention 10 protocols out there, the top 10 protocols, you can't omit MultiversX technology, of course. And I think people are still aware of this fact. It's that the other pieces of the puzzle that are missing. And we can debate on this even more if it comes in one of your questions, what is actually missing, because we all know technology is here, the community is amazing, we got pretty much a lot of builders that are building here in spite of the lack of liquidity or a stable coin that's natively developed. So that would be all on my side.
Yeah, we will definitely speak about what is missing, of course. Stefana, maybe you want to add anything with the Astra reason and Pulsar money caps.
Sure. I think you guys both mentioned the tech, and I don't want to reiterate that again. Everybody knows that the tech is good, and this is something really positive. I think on the other hand, what we're trying to do both on Astra Horizon side, but also on Pulsar Money, is to bring a lot of liquidity and users from our side outside the ecosystem into MultiversX. I think this is what we need to see right now. You want to have more consumer applications into the ecosystem. You want to see more this kind of narratives, but for these projects to succeed within an ecosystem, you also need adoption, users, you need liquidity. So this is what we're trying to do on our side, both from a builder perspective, but also from a VC and a launchpad as well, because on the launchpad side, we are also trying to push it not outside the ecosystem, but to bring projects within the ecosystem that are willing to integrate MultiversX, that are willing to tap into the ecosystem, and ultimately also launch on X launchpad. So this would be my take.
Okay, maybe Max can try to speak. Max, let's try. No,
do you hear me?
Work. Yes, we can.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I will interact with the next question because I just I had no sound before, so I don't know at all what you were talking about.
Oh, I will ask again. So I was asking you guys, what do you consider to be the essential building blocks of an ecosystem to be to be good and to attract people. So we spoke about liquidity provider, we spoke about staking provider, we spoke about of course the launchpad. So you're building a tool, a very interesting tool, a shard tool. So which tools maybe are necessary to have a complete ecosystem on which investors can come?
Yeah, I think it's something because we they spoke before earlier in the space. It's everything we talk since the start of this space. We need a little more liquidity. We need more builders. We need more users. But the main problem for now, I think, is about the hype. Not for users, but for builders. Today, if you speak about working or building on MultiversX to a dev, if he can choose between Solana or Ethereum or MultiversX, I don't know. For me, I'm sure he will not go on MultiversX. So it's it's one of the main problems. There is many problems, I think, because about the narrative or maybe about some mistake made in the past. But for now, the main thing is the hype, I think.
Okay, Philippe, you wanted to add something about this?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking because here we have some launchpad person that participates, and it's nice. I mean, it's a big part of the ecosystem. And to make the link quickly with the stacking provider and a way maybe to go forward and bring more user and all, it will be to add more simplicity in the way of people can invest their money in. So, for example, on the launchpad right now, you put some eagle more or less, and you get some token out at the end of the launchpad process with the KYC and everything that go with it. For example, something that I never seen, and I would like to see it in the coming months, and I hope the earlier the better, will be in fact to add, in addition to the ticket to buy the ETH token from the project, a stacking pool, in fact, where people can stack their e-gold, so that will generate with fees for sure, that will regenerate revenue for the project itself over the long term. And at the same time, in fact, with the raise of the Hush, it will be possible to maybe, I mean, with a kind of a liquidity smart contract to put on top, to take part of his e-gold, in fact, and to generate direct cash that can be used by the project on top of the token. And I think there is a lot of mechanism like that need to be think over the ecosystem, because we are all providing a lot of different services, but I think we need to interconnect them to really get the best of the ecosystem. And that's how I think blockchain will evolve. And I think that's how we can go forward properly and don't lose the users, because I mean, everything is there for all the time, and it need to be built on top, not really on top as a layer, but more with all the mechanisms that already exist. And I think the stacking provider and the delegation and all this mechanism can bring more value and more liquidity to the project that want to build on it.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Feel free, guys, of course, to bounce off on what people say. And if not, I have another question for you, and it will be the next take of Petrika for sure. What are the missing pieces in the MultiversX ecosystem to be complete, in your opinion? Petrika first.
Okay, so the first thing, and I think we've been mentioning not only on Twitter and on the Telegram groups and Discord and so forth, and even in this space, you guys have been mentioning it several times. I mentioned it, so it's a native stablecoin. We can't go further, and we can't have a huge infusion of liquidity unless we have a native stablecoin. Without an USDC that is listed on Coinbase, Binance, whatever huge first tier checks, we can't have an easy infusion of liquidity. we've tried this approach on our launchpad to have a proper launch on stablecoins, because it's easier for people to understand. Okay, I need to pay this amount of money to pay for a ticket or for an NFT, and also for the project that is launched on the launchpad. It's easier to have a proper understanding of what they are going to raise on a launchpad, in spite of launching it on a volatile token. So the best approach would be to have a launch in a stable coin, which is eased by having a proper native stablecoin. Without the Circle USDC or whatever other well-established native stablecoin, I don't think there's going to be a huge infusion of liquidity in this chain. That's the truth. I mean, we faced this during the Build 21 launch. It was just one small checks that was available for people to have this wrapped USDC on MultiversX. So it was really hard for people, because people needed to had a lot of swaps, and people lost a lot of money in these swaps just to be able to bring their value, their money in MultiversX as USDC. They first have to change the USDC on a proper native stablecoin, and change it to eGold, and then change it again in USDC on MultiversX, losing, of course, many times the spread and everything on all the other checks and dexes. So that will be the main thing for the future of launchpads and liquidity infusion on this chain.
It's very interesting. And so don't you think, and do you think the hush that will come in the coming weeks or months will solve this? Or do you think we need one of the 2 or 3 main centralized stable coins?
I think any stablecoin, of course, helps. I think once people will start using the blockchain not only as an investment, but actually using for payments, and of course, what's the better approach to start using payments if you are not using it with stablecoin? Most people will use blockchain with stablecoins, not with volatile tokens. So that's for Web2 people for sure. They will start with stablecoins. They won't buy random volatile tokens. And then what you ask, I think, it makes a difference. It's like you want to have an Apple phone or device, or if you want a no name for now. I can't predict the future of USH in the future, but what I can say is that for sure it will take a lot of time to reach all the great markets out there. And of course the liquidity.
Yes, the liquidity, and if it's not listed on a centralized exchange, it will not solve the problem that you mentioned.
Yeah, because people want to flow their value, their money from one ecosystem to another with ease, like one swap in Binance and one transfer from Binance, and that's it.
Definitely, I agree 100%. And guys, do you know why we don't have a USDC or USDT? Is it because it's too expensive, or is it because it's not on the strategy of the foundation, or maybe Tether and Circle doesn't want to issue their token on a MultiversX? Do you have any opinion or knowledge about this?
I'm not sure at 100%, but my first guess would be to say that as it's not contract based, maybe you need to have a certain investment in technical, in time and on maintenance to keep the wallet running and with all the functionalities. And maybe right now with the volume that is on the blockchain is not rentable for them.
Petrika?
Yeah, so from what I know, it's again not 100% because I'm not dealing with such listings on this chain or on other chains. But from what I know, Circle and other emitters of such tokens, they require a fee which is pretty high. It's by the order of millions. So you have to pay a certain amount of money, which is even higher than listing on Binance or whatever. And then you also have to, of course, provide a lot of liquidity on that chain.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
We're not there. Okay, let's bring some joy anyway. Stefana, I will ask you the same question about the missing pieces in the MultiversX ecosystem to be complete. And I know that with Astra Reason, you're working on the missing pieces, acceleration, incubation, and so on. But what's your answer to this?
Sure. You got it right. So I can speak from our perspective, from Master Horizon side. What we're trying to do is to like really incubate some good quality projects that are building on MultiversX and are bringing some really good tangible use cases to the ecosystem. I will refer a bit back to what Max said around the hype and everything. Of course, we've seen like hype everywhere within the space right now on other ecosystem. That's good. It's something that like gets users to and community members to stick with the chain. But I think you can also like drive an impact as an ecosystem while having really like good projects, tangible projects that are actually building something first of all useful, and then also building a scalable business model around it. So I would say that I wouldn't refer this as the missing piece, but this is something that would really accelerate the chain, the ecosystem overall, the community, the hype around it, because you can also build a lot of hype around the projects that are building, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be just pump and dump tokens, but you can actually bring tangible use cases. You can bring scalability into the ecosystem and build a lot of hype around it.
Okay, maybe Max, what do you think is missing on MultiversX to be a complete ecosystem?
In fact, I think there is no one big piece missing. There is a lot of big things working already. But I will take eCompass example. Side, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
And we can see you both.
Okay, in the car. So about us, for example, when we have a problem or when something is not working with a MultiversX API or something like this, we try to give the feedback as soon as possible about the core team. And but the message is going nowhere. In fact, I think the information is not going to the dev, I think, or something is missing. And about this, we lose lots of time on this side. So it's not a piece missing, but it's something important that it's slow. It's slow when we build, and it's not something great to bring new builders and new users, in fact, to Multiverse. So it's if we have a better discussion with the team, with the core team, maybe lots of things could be better, in fact, because it's not smooth. I don't know how to say this in English, but
no, smooth is the appropriate word, and this is weird because when we read Robert Sasu post, he says that he speaks with all builders. They provide everything that builders need. So it's interesting.
If I
yes, sure, go ahead.
It's better now because I think they saw the problem or they understand the problem, but there is still a lot of to do, I think.
Okay. Is anyone wants to add anything about this? And I will have a last question for you guys, of course. Yeah, Petrika, go ahead.
Yeah. So from our experience, actually, at BeHero, another missing piece would be the VCs around the ecosystem. We used to have more of them in the past. Some of them, they simply vanished. We don't know about them anymore.
Morningstar?
I won't give names. It's not something for me to say it, but there have been in the past more VCs around the projects, and we've seen this on all the launchpads in the ecosystem. That in the past they had more VCs behind them. Right now we don't have as many as before, and also the fact that new VCs don't come on this boat currently. So I've seen a lot of projects that are trying to raise funds. At Be Here we meet the teams way before their seeds and their private sale, so we know their struggle and try to help them onboarding VCs into their projects. But then there's a main concern for most of VCs why investing and why developing on MultiversX. So I know that some VCs stay away from MultiversX. I don't know why, but I think it's mainly the mission of the foundation to try to bring new big pillars in terms of VCs on this ecosystem.
It's very, very interesting. Really, I totally agree with you. And I spoke with a lot of projects that tried to raise fund, and the VCs asked, on which blockchain are you building? And when we say MultiversX, they say, what? What is it? And so that's a big problem. And that's why certain projects are eager to look for grant or investment from other ecosystem. And the thing is, I pretty much understand in a certain extent. I'm not talking about projects that failed on MultiversX and they think that they will succeed on other ecosystem. I'm really speaking about projects that succeed in a certain way on MultiversX, but when they want to scale, the problem of fund anyway. So yeah, it's interesting. It would be very interesting to have the position of the foundation, why and what are their his strategy to I don't know, attract VCs and to make the blockchain how to say.
I'm also speaking about projects that were super eager to build on MultiversX, super in love with the technology and the community and everything, and the VC round and seed was a deal breaker for them because they weren't managed to convince them in onboarding on MultiversX. That's something we face with some of our projects we have been working on for months, and at one point they decided that they need another blockchain with maybe better grants or
and they manage.
Some
and they manage
some of them,
elsewhere.
some of
Okay.
them, yeah.
Okay, that's I think a very important areas of improvement for MultiversX. This and stablecoin, of course, but all of this is not, in my opinion, something that builders, like every time co-founders say, what do you build? Okay, builders do their best, but there's things that are in the hands of the foundation, and these are unfortunately only in the hands of the foundation.
I have seen a comparison in the past on Twitter that people see blockchains as platforms similar to Apple Store. When a builder decides to go on Apple Store and build a product on Apple Store, they already know what user pool they are addressing to. They already go there because they really know there's a huge pool of users and a huge pool of investors that are willing to support the cause. So that's why I think the first step forward would be attracting users and attracting VCs. Because if we got these two elements, I think builders will basically crave to develop here.
I totally agree with you. Philippe, very quickly, and after I will have a last question for you guys.
Yeah, one thing, one aspect also that is specific to MultiversX, I think, and also regarding approaching VCs, is like all the narrative with sovereign chain, the fact that the project can arrive and have a sovereign chain on his own deployed to manage transaction on local and to privatize part of his network. It's still something that is new to sell, in fact, and that's still kind of scare. While it could be a huge asset for any project that want to have a lot of transaction and just settle a few amount of data into the mainnet just to secure the most important assets or information of our project. This new narrative is not well present in the ecosystem, and we need to make it more simpler with more educational video content on Twitter that will explain, in fact, what it can be and what are the advantages of that technology. But that's for sure something we need to all work on to make it a reality, I think.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Philip. So my last question, I could have asked this to all my previous speakers, but it will be for you guys, my last ones. Where do you see MultiversX ecosystem in, let's say, 1 year? Just 1 year. Who wants to start?
I can go. I can go, but you know what I will say probably. I mean, like,
No, we don't.
Okay, so me, my vision on what multiverses can be in few years if everything happen according to plan, if I can say, would be in fact to have a lot of different projects, a lot of different companies that could be Steam, Ubisoft, Microsoft, even like available also on AWS. The capacity to deploy your own blockchain based on MultiverseX technology. So with all the advantages like the secure charging, the stacking, the finality that is really low, the capacity to either climb in number of shards or to increase the amount of node per shard, to have this capacity to scale on different levels depending on your need and your expectation. And in fact, that you see a constellation of blockchain all over the internet, if I can say, for all these different companies that use a protocol to communicate securely between each other. So that means that you don't rely on the third-party solution for secure your transmission and your connectivity between services or systems, but directly on the protocol level, I can write messages and secure it with a key that is just dedicated for one person or one smart contract. And I think that will come in the future where when you want to access the Web3 part of a service like Steam, Spotify, whatsoever, you will access with a wallet, maybe Xportal, and see all your assets and be able to manage them, sell them, and have marketplace for all of these things. But that all these different nodes, all these different sovereign chain in this constellation use the same base technology that is abstract enough for all the builders to build what they need. Voilà.
Okay.
Write a poem about it.
That's interesting. Petrika, maybe?
Sure. I think with few amendments here and there, like just having a little bit more grants for builders, like onboarding a bit more VCs on the ecosystem, so the builders have an audience for their seed and private rounds. I think the technology is in place, and I think sooner or later it will pay off. I think it's just a matter of time until the technology will count more than the hype and these meme coins. And I think in the end, people will come here for the right reasons. And I think at that point, both the foundation and the community should be ready for new projects and for new opportunities. That's all I can say for now.
Okay. Stefana?
Sure. So it's of course very hard to predict the future in the Web3 space, especially even short-term future. But I think it was already mentioned that it's really impressive what MultiversX achieved with just a fraction of the raise that some of the other chains have managed to do. So it's really impressive. The guys have built a lot and have come really far. They have a really clear strategy on the sharding side, but I think that the space is really competitive, so it's really hard to predict what the next year will like bring in terms of like infra has been like in the past few years really hyped. Let's see if this hype will like continue for the next year, and if MultiversX will manage to like stay on top. I think yes. Again, with just a fraction of the fundraise that other big chains out there have had, MultiversX has achieved a really impressive growth. So pretty positive on that side.
I agree on this. Max, for the last take.
Yes, in a year or in some years, I think it depends if MultiverseX will stay European or Romanian and French in France, because it's for now we cannot say MultiversX is everywhere all over the world. So it's very European for now. So if we can go outside, it will be a good way to bring, like Philippe said, big companies. But if not, maybe in Europe there is many things to do within the institutional or bank or many like MultiversX have already tried to do in Romania. So I don't know. For me, it will be something between these two solutions. It depends if it will be very European in 1 or 2 years or not.
Okay. If you want my take on this, I don't know if I can say how and where MultiversX will be in 1 year, but personally, I'd love to see MultiversX as a solution for financial inclusion in Eastern Europe and emerging countries, thanks to X Money. That's a real need, and now serious and regulated European players on the subject. So I think it could be a very good use case for MultiversX. So yeah, we'll see who's right in the coming month and
I mean,
years.
if I can say, that would be beautiful that all this vision become reality in parallel, you know,
Definitely.
because that would be the end goal at the end, even if it would be an ecosystem with multiple blockchain. I mean, ideally, like everything that you describe has been resolved by MultiversX or another sovereign chain deployed on top of it. Let's see what happens.
Thank you very much, everybody. It was a pleasure to have you on the last round table. I will set you free. Have a very good night, and I wish you all the best for all of your projects, and see you soon on GM Web3, of course.
Super.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you, Jerem. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it's the end of this first Mvx gathering. More than 3 hours and 40 minutes talking with builders about the different topics around MultiversX. I hope you enjoyed. I remind you that you will be able to find this show in replay on our YouTube channel, but also on every podcast platforms. I will upload it tomorrow. I'm a bit tired now. So yeah, take care of yourself and see you soon.